What would be our option to finish this assignment is something which I will ask you after the end of the class. Okay, not now. Hold your thoughts and we'll discuss this today after the end of the class. But for now, let us understand what are we trying to see. What are we trying to study? So there are many ways. Today's topic is give me 1 second. I think I have to join back. Okay, today's topic is automation. Is it? Till our last classes, there were many automations we were studying or we were teaching people. From today's class, in fact, from your batch, I will stop teaching some of the previous automation techniques because Salesforce is basically winding them down. So there are, for your understanding, it is important for you to understand how and where, what are the different ways in which you can create automation. What is automation? First question. Automation is basically something which can happen automatically, right? A typical example is your assignment. You want to roll up the value of co-star, right? And calculate a total co-star. Formula field is a kind of automation, right? It is automatically doing some things for you. Roll up summary fields are also kind of an automation, which is doing some things for you. It is showing a value, right? But what we are automating right now, these are automation frameworks through which you can do more complex things, just not a simple formula. So let's see what different options we have. First option is workflow. Simplistic mechanism. Salesforce has stopped allowing you to create new workflows. Okay, so these options, new workflows is completely gone. I will not be able to show you how a new workflow needs to be done because right now the framework does not support it. If you want to understand any existing workflow, we can have a separate class, but I think we will not waste our time and energy into learning something which Salesforce is deprecating. Okay, but the naming or know-how about that, because in your project you might be working and customer might come to you and they will say that convert my workflows into the new framework. What is a new framework? We'll come to that. The second thing which is still there, which is called process builder, which is very easy to do. Okay, and third is now, which is the main automation engine of Salesforce, is called flows. So what is the basic difference between these three? There is another option which I am not studying is this is coding completely. Okay, Apex based coding. Apex is the language of Salesforce. So you can do anything and everything in Apex. So I am not teaching coding today. So we will see what automation we can do through like point and click, not through coding. Programming, you can do everything. In the whole automation frameworks can take leaps and chance with coding. Okay, we'll not discuss this right now. Today's topic is automation through non-programming options. Okay, so workflow. In workflow, we used to do only creating of, we can update field, then send mail, some 4 options. Okay, 4 basic options: object field, send mail, create tasks, and fourth is outbound message. So sending mail is, you know, already. So if there is a status change of your object, you can send a mail to somebody and say that, okay, there is some changes which has happened on this object. You can update a field automatically, right, in the value. So if there are 2 or 3 field values change, you can update another field automatically. Maybe you can concatenate their values, do a automatic calculation, right? Creating a task that I will create a task for me after 3 days, right? These are the things. And outbound messages is sending information outside of Salesforce. How that works, we'll not discuss that. Advanced topic. So these are 4 basic actions which you could have done using a workflow. Now, every day you cannot create workflows, but where it is found, we'll show that. In process builders, you'll notice that you cannot create record in workflow, right? In process builder, they allowed you to create records and many things, many more things which you are not able to do in workflows. Okay. Flows gives everything which is possible through process builders plus many more things. Yeah. So now flows is our main tool. We will learn flows in next 2 classes maybe, and we'll have assignments on flows. And you as an admin must know flow in and out, and there is a separate trail for that. I will discuss that today. Please complete flows. It will take time for you to handle it, master it, but flow, if you are good at flows, it is the first step for your evaluation as an admin. So anybody who is taking your interviews will be asking all questions on flows. So it is a very critical. Please pay attention. Okay. Before that, I will have a basic difference between these 3 technologies once again: workflows, process builders, flows. Workflows used to fire automatically after record is saved. So it is called after save. So data is saved successfully or in the record, then you can fire automation. Process builder is also after save. Flows can fire before save and after save. You can choose, pick and choose. Okay, which situation to use what, we will discuss this. Flows does not have any UI. That means there is no screen. Automatic, some logic you can fire. Process builder also no UI. Some logic you can fire. Flows can also have screens. So you can build screens. If you need some user input, you want some values to be passed, values to be typed, then you can also put a UI. Okay. So this is the basic framework which we have.
স্যার আমার একটা কোশ্চেন আছে স্যার, জাস্ট
বলো।
স্যার ফ্লোতে যদি সবই হয়ে যায় তাহলে ওয়ার্কফ্লো আর প্রসেস বিল্ডিং এর মধ্যে দরকার কিসের? আর
দরকার নেই তো, তাই জন্য তো বন্ধ করে দিচ্ছে সেলসফোর্স।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
ফ্লো তো নতুন এসছে।
আচ্ছা, মানে ফ্লোর আগে এগুলো ছিল, তার মানে এটা দিয়ে লোক কাজ করতে হবে।
Automation technique, yes. Workflow was the oldest automation technique. It was very fast. It is still very hard because it is very easy to do also. তুমি বুঝতে পারবে ফ্লো শিখতে তোমার যদি 1 মাস লাগে, ওয়ার্কফ্লো শিখতে মানে 1 দিন লাগবে, প্রসেস বিল্ডার শিখতে মানে 1 সপ্তাহ লাগবে।
আচ্ছা,
complexity is so vast, ঠিক আছে? But once you master flows, you can do anything and everything of automation. Almost you can replace a coder. ঠিক আছে? Flow is so powerful.
ও মানে কোডারেরও দরকার হবে না ফ্লো যদি জানা যায়।
If you can develop screens, if you can do logic without writing a single line of programming, so why do you need a coder? The power of Salesforce platform is basically the flow.
Okay, got it, sir.
Okay. So even a programmer will first try to implement the solution using a flow. If he's not able to do it, then only he will go and write code. Just because he knows programming does not mean he will come and start coding. In Salesforce, you should only code when there is no other option left in configurations. Okay. So
sir.
As a coder, you are the best coder who does least coding. In programming language, we say no code is the best code. Okay, so please follow this rigorously. Code jani bole ha ha kore code lekha shuru kore dilam? No, that's not the case. Code korbo only when there is no other option left. Okay, কেন সেগুলো ডিসকাস করবো আমরা পরে। So today's topic, let's jump into that. Let's see how these things work. I think I am already sharing.
তো আপনার কিন্তু স্ক্রিন অনলি ওটাই শো করছে, মানে নোটপ্যাডটা।
Oh, I am sharing something else. Hold on, thank you
নো প্রবলেম স্যার।
for informing this. Seeing my screen now?
স্যার
Yes, sir.
Yet again, my office is set up. I will go to setup. Here, if you type automation, process automation, you see there are a lot of options, right? What are the options we are discussing today? You see workflow rules. This is the first thing which we discussed today, right? The oldest automation technique of Salesforce. If you go to the workflow rules, I think Salesforce has stopped. So new rule, you see, creating flow builder. Workflow rules aren't enabled, but you can use flow builder to create new automations, right? So Salesforce has stopped allowing you to create new workflow rules. Okay, so you will not get this option any longer. If there is an old org, I think you can get some. But anyway, so what workflow rules used to give you? You could have created task, send mails, outbound messages, and field updates, right? But here, now you are getting more options. Here, first we are seeing process builder. At a process builder, বানাতে এখনো Salesforce দিচ্ছে. So let's take our opportunity to create a process builder and see how easy it is. So whenever you open the screen, Salesforce is warning you, please use flow builder. But you can create actually a process builder. So let's create a process builder. Very easy. You type your name like auto roll up. So this will fire. When will this fire? So I will select the first one, when the record value changes. And so which object will this fire? Probably on the application when the record is getting created, or when the record is created or edited. Both options are open for you. You can also put some advanced formula if you want. So you can fire this. Then you can put a criteria like you will say $0, zero check or negative check. Auto roll up নয়, নামটা অন্য নেওয়া উচিত ছিল। মাইনাস নিয়ে যাও, হয়ে গেছে। Minus check. What are we trying to check here? This is the condition. The condition is basically in application is the salary. The salary fee field. the application fee is less than 0. Okay, this is my condition. If the fee which I entered is in negative, I will fire a action. I will copy it. Action would be update record. Update what record? I will update my account. I will inactivate. This is the record type. I will choose which record I want to update. I am not updating the record which is firing this process builder. I am updating my parent record, right? So related record. I am choosing account. I am choosing active field. Active chilo. Description is update. No, sorry. Let's see. Application fee value. I mean, parent কিছু update করছি না. I will make it 0. And see. So what is my logic now? I have changed the logic. If somebody is giving a minus value, I am just updating the update fee to 0. I am saying that negative value automatic change করে আমি 0 করে দেব. ঠিক আছে? Fee value to 0. I save it and I activate it. I have to activate it, otherwise this will not work. So now what is happening? If I am going to any account, I am going to any application. Application fees negative 100. Between sorry, I have to deactivate this validation rule. One thing to notice here, the validation rule is also there. Validation rule will fire before these automation fires. Process builder and workflow both fire after record is saved. Validation rule fires before the record is saved, right? That's why validation rule is taking action first. So what we'll do is that we'll switch off the validation for the time being. I can deactivate also. Don't have to delete it. So I will just try to create another record once again. So this is the new record which got created. I think the last record was this one. Which one? It's the last record. The last record. This one. No. See, application fee automatically is changing to 0. It is not saving minus 1000 in the backend, because after saving, this automation process builder is firing and basically making it 0. If I deactivate, we can test it once again. First, it will not work, because make sure this process builder was, you see, it is only firing when the record is created. So I will only test this with a new record. Here I have, it is not working because the flow is now deactivated. Okay, when the flow was active, we saw this is automatically taking action. That means you are able to make automatic changes into the records by using process builders. How do I implement the same thing using flow? Because whatever is possible through process builders is possible through flows. So let's see this same thing. How can I do that using flows?
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
Can you, sir, once show again how to deactivate the validation rule? I missed that part.
I just deleted that. I did not deactivate, but you can go ahead and do any validation rule. Like in account, I think I had some. So let's create one. Issue log insert. Let's see if we'll put some amount value. So by default, this is active. You can go ahead and edit it and you just take it out. This is a
Okay.
inactive validation rule.
মানে স্যার অ্যাক্টিভেট গিয়ে জাস্ট অ্যাক্টিভের চেক বক্সটাকে
Right.
আনচেক করে দিতে হবে।
Right.
আচ্ছা, পরে
Same.
আবার ওটাকে চেক করলে ওটা অন হয়ে যাবে।
Yes. There is no need to delete. In same thing with process builders, we saw, right? You can go ahead and this is inactive now. Inactive. You can go ahead and again activate this. Activate again. You will have a deactivate button here. So now we'll see how the workflow works. So in automation, now we will see flows. Here is the flow, the beast, which is very tough to understand at first. Highly powerful. So here, when you start a flow, it will give you many options, right? A screen flow, a record triggered flow, a scheduled flow, a rest to. Let's not discuss those. I don't want to complicate. Those are advanced topics. What is a screen flow? Screen flow is where you want some UI. Okay, we'll show this. First, we'll try to replicate what we did in process builders in flows, right? I was automatically changing the value, which I was saying. So this is the record triggered flow, which fires when a record is saved. And the third is schedule trigger flow, which fires every night or the frequency you decide automatically. Schedule triggered flow and record triggered flow do not have any UI. That means they will not have any screens. If you need any screens, manual input is needed, then screen. Any questions? So for our job, guess which is the flow we should be using? That means automatically negative value should be put to 0.
So record triggered flow.
Record trigger flow. Great. Another thing to mention is that flow can fire before saving of record, after saving of record. So very critical difference. Process builders and other automations used to fire only after the record is saved into the database, and then again the data was the automation ran, and that same record might have got updated, just like we did in process builder. So the record got saved with minus 100 value, then the automation ran, and then it made it 0, right? But flows do not need you to save first. Even before saving, it can go ahead and change values. So which object are we firing this on? Application object, right? Again, we are firing this on create. Same thing as this. We can put some other conditions if you want, right? Now these two, which to choose? This is before firing. This is after. Sorry, this is before saving. This is after saving. Record ticket relay can fire before saving and after saving. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. So which to choose what, right? Before save and after save. These are the both two options which we have. We have two options. Before save is fired, or we have to use before save only when you are making any changes to the fields of the record which is firing this flow. When the record is getting saved, if you are trying to change any field values of the flow of the record which is basically firing this flow, at that moment you are using before save. So always use before save if you want to automatically change any field values of the record which is firing this flow. Okay, if you want to make any changes to any other objects or any other records which is not firing this flow, always use the after save option. Okay, clear this question? So for our requirement, wherein we are making minus values to 0, what should I choose? And why?
So after save.
Why? Who is firing the flow? Which record is firing this flow?
So application.
Application, a newly created application, right,
Yes, sir.
is firing this flow. So where the field which I am trying to change belongs to which record? That same record or some other record? I'm making minus 300 or minus values to 0, right? Which field are we working on?
Sir, application fee. It will be, sir, that before save only, sir. Sorry.
Before save. Clear now to you? Why before save?
Yes, sir.
Not only the same object, you should also remember it should be the same record. Even if that same object, some other records, it should be after save. Okay. So only the record which is firing the flow. If I want to change any value of that fields of that same record, then I will use before save. So for our situation, I want to change the value of fee, application fee of the same record which is firing the flow, right? So I will choose before. Any questions? Ke bojheni bolo?
So আমার একটু বুঝতে প্রবলেম হচ্ছে স্যার।
Bolo ki question?
আমি
Question?
মানে এন্টার জিনিসটাই বুঝতে পারিনি, মানে
কোনটা বুঝতে পারোনি বলো?
মানে এই বিফোর সেভ, আফটার সেভ, দ্যাট থিং।
ঠিক আছে. How can somebody explain? Who was talking right now?
Sir.
Dipanjan explain
Yes,
to
sir.
him.
Yeah, yeah, Shubham, if suppose we want to reflect a change in the same record of that same object. Suppose there is a record, there is an object called A and it has a record called B. If we want flow to change the value of the B record, then we will use before save. But if we want, suppose we want to change the record of any other object or any other record in the same object, then we will use after save.
ওকে, গট ইট।
Let us review what is it. It has already given you. See, update fields on the record that triggers the flow to run. That means if you want to change any other field values or the same field values, it does not matter. If you are making any changes to the record which is getting saved now, then use this one. This is for, you see, field updates. Most of the time it will be you are changing automatic calculations in the fields and stuff. And this is for update any record and perform actions like send an email. And this is for any other records which is not firing the flow, right? Simple logic. If I want to change anything which is getting saved, use this. If I want to change anything which is not getting saved, this one. Clear?
ইয়েস স্যার।
This has to be very, very, very clear. Okay. Otherwise, there are a lot of troubles because there will be loops and stuff which will happen. I will discuss this why. So we'll choose fast field updates now. So there are two layouts. You see, freeform and auto transform. You can use anything. Both versions are available. I will use freeform for now. It will give you a better view of what is happening. So you have these only things to learn in a before save, right? In after save, you will see some things are more, and we'll discuss that. So this is the condition application record. It is firing when the record is getting saved, and it will change the values of that record itself. So what are we trying to do here? It is automatically after this flow, if firing, it will get saved right into the database. So there is no need to fire update record. Okay, you can just do a assignment, and that's it. Assignment is a activity. These are all activities. You can take decisions, you can do value assignments using assignment, you can loop through sub records, you can do collection sorting, filtering, and then you can Get record also, if you want to find some records from database and do your calculations, you can do that, and then you can update record. Or this is basically not necessary, as I said. You can directly use the assignment, it will save the record automatically. But before, so let's see how I will assign to 0 is the name of my record. Which variable? Here, this variable is very important. $record. $record variable gives you exact that record which is getting saved. So I will choose this one, and I will update the value of this application fee, right? And what value? I will go to give 0, right? Now, so action I have taken, that is assignment. I have to just do an assignment and we're good. But did I take a decision in the? Let's see the process builder once again. Let's try to see this side by side. So here's application on record save. Here application on record create. Same, both same, right? Everything same. But I did a minus check next, right? The application is less than 0, right? Where is my check? I did not do any check. So let's take a decision. Minus check also here. There are two outcomes by default. We'll say value is minus. And what is my question? My question is in record application dot fee is less than 0. If the value is less than 0, then I will take a decision. There is another default outcome which is not need to be handled. I don't care about that. I will bypass. So this is the logical 3 steps. Right? First, I will check record is getting created or not. I will then drag and drop. Then I will take a decision if the application value is less than 0 or not, and then I will directly do it here. And then you will select what outcome I want to perform. I can directly do a check. Okay, you can put a lot of decision here also. You can directly check the condition here also. You can say directly application fee less than 0. You can check here itself. Then you don't need this one, right? In that case, your flow will only fire when the value is less than 0. So decision assignment, you can also do it. Try to do as much as decision making possible in the flow start itself. Otherwise, the flow will fire every time. The only difference between this one and when you had this assignment, this decision loop was that flow was firing every time there is a record getting created. Then you are taking a decision. Then your assignment is happening or not, that's a different thing. But the flow is firing again and again and again and again, right? But if you do not want to fire the flow at all, and you can block the firing of the flow based on that condition, you can do it right away in the start itself. So I have just migrated it. So this is a better flow, but both the flows are right. Both will work, but this is a better flow. Okay, optimized one. So I will save, and I will give a name of the flow, auto 0. And that's it. It also needs to be activated, right? Now what will happen? I will go to this check once again. I will create a new. Zero. So this is firing, and it is basically taking the values from 0 to from negative values to automatically updating that. Sure. Let's change some values in other objects. Let's say when my application is created in my account object, I will create a new it's called, I will have a lookup relationship. I will create a lookup relationship with application. In my account, I'm creating a lookup of application. Yeah, I'm creating a child of a relationship with my child object. Okay. Now, child has become my parent. Please remember that. What is the name of this? Okay, sorry, did not keep the name. Okay, this is a last application. I will have one value which I want to store in my application record, which is called last application, and I want to store that in my account record, right? Which is a lookup value. So it will take to me to the last application record. Okay. So if I refresh Bong Bong now, so I have last application. Last. No, some time to appear. It will take time to appear. Anyway, so in account, I have created a last application field. This is a lookup with the application object. That means a lookup of my child object. Okay, interesting. So now my job is that whatever is the last application which I created, I want that value to be stored there. Okay. How do I do that? I will go to flow. Question to be pondered now. I want to automatically do this. Which option choose?
Sir, it will be again a record triggered flow.
Record triggered flow. Great, fantastic. This will fire on which object?
this, this will fire on application.
Application. Fantastic. Will fire on record create update, created update, deleted. Which one?
Sir, we want to show the last
Last
application.
application of that account. Yes.
So it will be on a record is created.
Record is created. Why not record created update or anything else?
Sir, because some particular account has already some applications created, and when I am creating a new record, that will be the last application for that corresponding account.
Very good. But if I choose created an update, then what may go wrong if I use this?
If we choose a create or update, then certain the last any record which is already existing, if we update that record, it will get reflected in the my account
Right.
object.
Even if it's the old application,
Huh?
make a modification that will show as the last application, which is not right, right?
Which is not right.
So I want to show the record created. Now, good stuff. So here I can put some conditions if I want. But which one to use now?
Sir, now we have to use after save.
After save. Why?
So because the action will be taken on a different object altogether.
Different object, different record.
Different record.
Perfect. This time I will use, I will again use freeform, which is easier to use. But you see there are a lot more options now. Right? These things were there in before trigger, but here now I can create record, I can update record, get record, delete record. Many options are opening. Action or subflow. That means a flow inside a flow. You can fire a flow from another flow. What is action? We can discuss this later. Advanced topics. So here I have to actually use the update record option. Then only the records will be updated. Otherwise not, because it is saving some records which is outside of the flow which is firing this, right? So it is very critical for us to use update. But I can use assignment now. So first and foremost, what I want to update. So I will update account, right? This time I'm updating parent account, isn't it? Let's give the name. See how to find records to update and set their values. Use the application record that triggered the flow. Update the records related to the application record that triggered the flow. So many things. You can choose it many ways. So you can say that related records to application is what? Account, right? Account dot ID. So I think I will use one ID. That will be best. IDs and the record collection. There is no need for that. I will probably use one object called account. So here I am using specify condition to identify record and set the values individually. Okay, which is very easy because the field divisions can be shown across. You can choose like play around with the other options. It will take some time for you to get used to that. So I'm trying the simple use. So here, which field am I selecting? I have to first filter out, right? If the flow is firing and I just give a field value name here, like I will say, what is that? Last application, right? Last application is a lookup. So what value should I have to store here? Dependent. What value needs to be assigned here? Lookup value stores what?
So the external ID.
External ID. What do you mean by external ID? The lookup value stores external ID.
No, sir.
Then anybody? What does lookup value, lookup fields or master detail field store?
Sir, parents records.
Parents?
Records.
What is records?
Sir, record ID.
Record ID, simple.
Salesforce.
Kando Raman pore Sita Ramer Mashi. Master detail and lookup relationship is just storing the Salesforce record ID, SFID of my current record. So where will I get this record ID? Last application ID. How will I get that? Give me the options. Where I will get the value of last application? Which this flow is firing what? কাজ আছে আমার পরে কথা বলি this is storing what? This flow is getting fired for which object?
Sir, application object.
Yeah. A newly created record is getting fired, right? That record, whatever ID I have, that I will store in the last application, right? In the account.
Yes.
How will I get that? Which variable do I use to get the record which is getting saved?
Sir, record.
Record. An ID. Simple. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is the account update. But which account am I trying to update? I am trying to only update the account whose ID is equal to my application's account only, right? I don't want anything else. One record. So I have a master detail relationship with account. I know which account. So I have got my account. On that account, the last application value I am updating. Is it clear now, guys?
Yes, sir.
So this is the way I am filtering it. If I don't have a filter, then it will update all accounts with the same value. I don't want that. I want to only update that record, that account record, which is my parent, right? My application parent. That is that. So I am now adding this, saving it, and I will say last updation and activating it. So now I will create a new application. Cool. Refresh. If I do an edit, it is still not showing up anywhere. So he will see last application. Now, please. Give me 1 second. Let's see where this flow is. So what the field is. Last application. You're seeing this field. Under total application, it should come up. It's not coming up still now. It will take some time. Caching data major problem. Let me log back one second. Left. Anyway, আমরা যেটা দেখবো ব্যাকএন্ড থেকে দেখবো। It's not refreshing the cache right now somehow. Okay, so if I go to the backend, let's see this from backend. I'll go to the account part. What is the last application in BongBong? Let's see what is the last application created. And 19, I think today. This was created last. 333, right? No, this 20 is the last one. 333, right? Now what is the ID? Okay. So what I will do, I will go to account and I will say last application record. This name. So I have got BongBong, wherein my last application is already filled up. Got it? So that is how this flow is taking care of updating the records. Any questions so far? It will show up very soon. I think there's some problem going on with the cache. So my question to the candidates once again, and I will stop recording. How